All right.
Come on, Goody.
Let's fuck out of here. Oh, she does this.
Oh, snap. And we are live, everybody. Raw's about to be done in less than a minute, so we're about to get this show on the road. What's up, everyone?
Their countdown to live, Max.
What's up, everyone? This is live with XVPW. I'm Four Eyes. I got In Cat We Trust, and I got a special guest, Gary. What's up, Gary? How you doing, bro?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? All right, doing all right. Husky Heroes here. Don't fear. Let's go.
All right. So I'm gonna wait till this is on. Oh man, what is happening with Bliss right now? What is this? Spear.
I'm assuming you're delayed then. Because it ended already in New York. So, I don't know.
Whoa. Whoa.
Okay.
Okay, so now Edge is really headed to WrestleMania.
So, what was you responding to when I literally was talking about it and you was responding to me as if you saw what was happening?
Well, I saw a little bit of what happened, but then I just saw the ending and I'm like, oh.
That's literally what I was just complaining about, and you was responding to me.
I thought shenanigans like okay, Edge, Randy Orton beat Edge, but I was like, oh.
No, literally, I said Alexa Bliss, like the shenanigans. Like we don't need that.
Okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
I'm over that whole. I'm over that whole little thing. It feels like it's going on for too long.
Thank you. Same. All right.
Alright, so we're just gonna wait a little bit longer. Alright. I just want to see if this sounds good for everybody. It's my first time doing this. Alright, cool. No echoes. Guys, I've been stressing with the stream for like the first half of my day. Well, second half of my day, because I was, had some little echo issues on the last one, but I feel like I figured that out. So, what's up, everyone? I'm Four Eyes. I got Husky. I got Katrina and Cat We Trust. We got 2 people watching so far. Cool. So, let's talk about a little bit of the Royal Rumble. I mean, we're already headed to WrestleMania 37. So, what's everybody's thoughts of the Royal Rumble, man? Husky, you go first. You're my special guest for today.
I was highly entertained. I had the final 4 right for the women. For the men, not so much. I was highly entertained. I was more surprised at the people who weren't there, especially for the men. So it was a different Rumble, but as far as the match goes, some of the other matches, like we kind of talked about it on a different show already. I wasn't surprised with some of those endings, but yeah, I was entertained. I was gonna keep it like that. I was entertained. I was surprised a little bit, just a little bit, but they played it safe. I feel like they played it safe.
I was listening to a couple of podcasts on their thoughts on the Royal Rumble, and one person brought up a really good point that there was probably no NXT debuts. We had no Ciampa, no Gargano, nobody from Undisputed. All we had is probably the call up, which was Damian Priest, but nobody, not even a Carrion, not even. And I was actually a little surprised by that. Yeah, there was actually no NXT debuts. It's pretty interesting. No, you didn't want an NXT debut, Katrina.
No, I think people's issue is you cannot complain about the women doing something and then expect it to happen with the men. So first of all, I don't know why you mentioned Karrion Kross. Nobody wants to see him but you. Okay, don't care about Karrion Kross. He just got back from an injury. Why the hell does he need to be at the Rumble? Not necessary.
I mean, any special debut for NXT.
Gargano, guys who very specifically said they are always going to be for NXT, at least as of right now, made no sense to have them at the Rumble. Made no sense because they're not going to benefit SmackDown or Raw. So why would you have them at the Rumble?
I mean, same reason why we had women's NXT, don't you think?
Yeah, but I clearly just said that Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano said very specifically they're for NXT. It didn't make sense to have them at the Rumble. I feel like for the women, what women do you have right now on the roster? We actually had, outside of Kane, Carlito, and Christian, everybody else is wrestling right now, which means they had the roster spread enough that they was able to have enough men in the women's Rumble. Women, not so much. That was the reason why for the last 3 weeks we kept getting these Raw matches where there was like the women wrestlers was having 2 and 3 matches right after one another. The same exact people with no.
But like, who's to say that like NXT? I mean, who's to say that the Royal Rumble should only be restricted to Raw and SmackDown?
Right.
Like you know, you could have a couple NXT. I mean, yeah, you don't have to. They don't have to be Raw or SmackDown exclusive just to that. But you know, to have NXT, I should feel like it should be a universal thing for Royal Rumble.
What do you think would have been beneficial to the Rumble? You were so on.
I think Finn Balor. I'm surprised Finn Balor. They could have threw Finn Balor in there.
Yeah.
At least.
That's true. Finn.
You know, it's safe to say
Isaiah
that the
Swerve
Rumble was Keith Lee coming up already. You know, I think that's what really put Keith Lee over the top, and that's why Vince liked Keith Lee, especially the best spirit bomb Keith Lee has ever delivered was against Roman in the Rumble 2 years ago. Right?
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, I mean, it was just a little surprising. I mean, you know, Isaiah could have got it. You know, I'm not saying like cruiserweights, but you know, just two or three NXT little stars that, you know, want to showcase their stuff in the Royal Rumble. I mean, yeah, granted they don't need a W, but you know, a couple.
So you're mad at Rey Mysterio, who's actually on the other 2 brand roster.
I mean, I personally just don't like Rey Mysterio. I wasn't feeling Rey Mysterio.
No, I understand that, but they were on the SmackDown roster, and I'm sorry, but if they're doing SmackDown, they get precedence over NXT. So if you're not okay with like people who are actually on the other rosters working, but you want NXT guys, that doesn't make sense to me. Finn Balor needs to not. I mean, if he can keep away from being injured again, I'm okay with him not being in the Rumble. He get injured way too often for my liking. for me to feel comfortable with like, I just feel like I love Finn Balor, but he gets injured a lot, and I would be sad if his title has to go because he did something at the Rumble. I would just be sad about that. I don't like, if you complain about people on SmackDown or Raw entering the Rumble who actually on the main roster, then why would you take a spot for NXT? No.
And to back me up, I mean, what you call it? NXT is no longer a developmental; it's a third brand. I mean, that's what people say now. So yeah, there should be a couple people from NXT to join the Royal Rumble. Granted, booking wise, like, you know, maybe they're not gonna get that W, but to showcase what they have, you know, and just leave them out of it. Yeah, people don't want to join the Raw and SmackDown, Undisputed Era, Gargano, but you know, you have top stars in NXT too, so they should be part of the Rumble.
I also feel like the women have less room there. I don't feel like anybody that made it to the Rumble needs to be taken out for NXT stars. I'm sorry. Like, if they didn't have enough men to spread across, they'd be like, all right, I get not having this person in. And I do believe, like, for instance, Montez Ford was supposed to be in the match. He got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Kofi Kingston was supposed to be in the match. He got injured. Keith Lee had COVID. He cannot be in the match. Those are 3 spots right there that would have definitely been in there. And then were you still going to want to add NXT? Not necessary. Not necessary. NXT has they takeovers to do all the shining. They want to do shine, do your thing at NXT. Not about them. And in regards to them being the third brand, I feel like they pick and choose when to call it a third brand. One is a third brand, and the next minute, they're going to go back to NXT and get some work. So which is it? Either we're going to call this a fully third brand, or we're going to call it developmental. But you cannot pick and choose when NXT is either or. That defeats the purpose. Energy all around. So
Christian and Carlito didn't need to be there. They could have got over by not being in the Rumble. So I feel like that could have been 2 spots for NXT. The Hurricane, that could have been an NXT guy.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know,
Kane. I mean, I feel Kane was just a last minute choose because, granted, I would switch Keith Lee with Kane if Keith didn't have COVID, and he probably would have got the most eliminations too. Little spotlight for him, you know. But that's just like, you know, if NXT was there last year, you know, then why wasn't some NXT stars here this year, you know? So I was
Right.
just curious about that, and there are, you know, I mean, NXT UK doesn't get enough shine as it is. You know, it would have been nice to have some of them there, you know, but
like
whatever.
Tyler Bate. I would love to see Tyler Bate in there.
Mm-hmm. There's people, you know, I mean,
Tyler Bate, Wolfgang. Yeah.
I mean, they are part of the USA Network. I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah, Katrina,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the Royal Rumble?
Well, I feel like you know my thoughts. You had me sit on this with you yesterday. Like I said, NXT men did not need to be there. Y'all not making a case for me to agree with y'all. I'm sorry. You mentioned, I think, Carlito. Carlito was supposed to make a return a while ago, but saying something about travel arrangements and COVID was the reason why he did not make it before the Rumble. So there was no way they was not going to have Rumble, since it is implied Carlito will be wrestling with WWE for a while now. So having him at the Rumble actually was, to me, a better impact than having him pop up on Raw today. I actually would have been like, okay, Carlito was gone for 10 years. If you're going to give these other people coming back, then in the Rumble, like Tori Wilson, who cannot wrestle for shit, but she magically, yay, she's in the Rumble. Then you give Carlito that Royal Rumble return as well. You don't put him on Raw, but you give Tori Wilson a Rumble return. No, we're not gonna do that when she can't wrestle. Like I said, the fact that they had to bring Jillian Hall and Victoria in tells you that the women's Rumble, they needed the women. The men's roster is not that depleted that they had to go to NXT. I was okay with Goldberg losing. I'm glad his ass didn't show up in the Rumble. Not that he could have, because he looked like he was like gassed out in like 60 seconds.
I mean, for all the Goldberg matches that he had, that was actually a pretty decent one.
No, we're not. Listen, you already know my energy about Goldberg. I'm not going to give him no pat in the back for mediocrity. He was mediocre. He did a fucking spear, and instead of him beating up Drew, he took a break in the ring, and like he needed a life alert, like I told you yesterday. He was tired 60 seconds in. That match was totally unnecessary because we did not need Goldberg. Goldberg shouldn't have to get to Twitter and get a match because he won a fucking match. That's not, no. So I was okay with Goldberg losing. The Women's Rumble, Bianca's win was everything, absolutely everything. The whole spot she had with Naomi, the back and forth between the two of them, showcasing how good both of them are. The climbing back in the ring with her braid, I absolutely love that. I thought it was funny, like you pulled the hair, like you don't touch black women's hair. So I but then also like I like that you used it to get back in, and then they kind of help each other back in. I was like, all right, black girl, magic, do your thing. I was okay with that. I felt Edge was winning. I told everybody who asked me for predictions, Edge was taking it. It was too much emotion for him not to take it. Daniel Bryan, I don't know why everybody else in the world thought Daniel Bryan, because I definitely did not. And I felt like after going on Twitter today, I was definitely in the minority on that one. Apparently everybody thought Daniel Bryan. I was like, how? If he didn't win a title since his retirement, I would have been like, all right, but he's won a title and even got a whole new belt for him. Why does he need the WrestleMania moment? Doesn't need it. He literally had a whole new belt dedicated to his eco-friendly championship run, and yet people thought he needed WrestleMania. No, nothing. So I was okay with Edge. Sasha and Carmella was solid. And in regards to what Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, I was okay with the match to the very end. Once they messed up with the handcuffs, I was just over the match.
I think outside of the Rumble matches, I think Carmella and Sasha was probably match of the night for. That was actually pretty good. I actually like that match.
You are in the minority on that one. That's a surprise. Carmella botched too much to be match.
There was actually pretty good spots.
4 or 5 matches.
I don't know. Do you guys have any match of the night? Outside of the singles? Outside of Rumble. What do you think was match of the night?
That's to me?
Yeah, I mean, to anybody.
Like I said, I was actually okay with the Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns match until the very end. Once the referee started counting, I was over it. Because I'm like, okay, we can tell you guys fucked up the handcuff situation. Paul Heyman was struggling. Like if he would have took a flashlight out on his phone to see where the lock was on that damn handcuff, I would have been not surprised by that. He seemed like he really, and that totally took me out of the match. And then the referee even got to like 6 and just stopped counting. And I was like, technically, in that case, Kevin Owens would have won the match. Y'all could have done something to make it less obvious. Clearly, there was a problem with the handcuffs. So to me, Kevin Owens did his thing as I knew he would. He killed it. Carmella botched too much of that match for me to consider that. If she didn't botch, I would have been like, all right, because Sasha did her thing. But Carmella botched about 4 of her own moves. And I'm like, sis, this is your stuff. Get it together. Like, you had this whole break. You should have been training and getting, brushing up on your moveset. It shouldn't be coming back to, like, pay-per-views and you're still botching your matches you left on. That's insane to me.
Gary, what do you thought was match of the night?
I have to go with Kevin Owens and Reigns. To me, they took a page out of NXT's book with the last man standing matches with the Gargano and Ciampas and stuff like that. So very, very similar. I legit thought it was going to be over sooner. And I love the spot where Kevin Owens, he rolls off the stage and he lands on his feet. I was like, oh, okay. I kind of popped a little bit for that part.
Yeah.
I love the part where Roman did with the referee, just threw him into the thing and they can't get it off. And I'm so caught up on, I'm thinking something else was going to happen, so I wasn't really paying attention to the box. I'm just caught up in the moment. Like, oh, okay, something's going to get up. What's going to happen? And I'm like, what a way for Kevin Owens to win. The same way, that a cage match, he locked him up, and what a way for him to win the belt, but it didn't happen that way. So that was my match of the night outside of, the Rumble matches. I like the women's Rumble matches better than I did the men's one.
There was good spots in the women's matches for sure. I feel like Billy Kay not stole the show, but she had a really good really good part to show her her stuff, And I was actually how she came out to everybody's during the entrance and just like, hey, here's my resume. That was actually pretty cool. I actually like that. That's actually one of the highlights for me. There was actually a lot of good spots.
And I love that iconic iconic
the little iconic spot, that was cool. I like how everyone ganged up on Bliss. Yeah. That was actually pretty cool. Like, hey, we're not gonna mess with her. That's cool. I like that. That was actually a good spot. So moving on forward, do you think that there was a picture of Bianca with her 2 feet on the ground? Do you think they're gonna address that, or just gonna move it past on? Like, they're just gonna ignore it?
You have to ignore it.
I feel right.
I think you have to ignore it at this
point. I think they're gonna ignore it. It's either that, or they might prolong it and say, "Hey, she's gonna, you have another match, Elimination Chamber. You're gonna win this one too." Like, okay. I mean, like, we're gonna put you in the Elimination Chamber, and you gotta earn it again.
What if they do some nonsense like, okay, it's a controversy. The last 2 entrants got to wrestle 1-on-1 for a shot at, I could see them doing some nonsense like that. It would be Rhea against Bianca. And we saw that already in NXT. I don't think I'm going to see that again right now.
Mm-hmm. That could probably happen. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to address her or not in SmackDown. But that'll be interesting. But if they're going to ignore it, that's cool. I'm fine with that. I mean, didn't that happen to... What was it? Well, was it The Rock who had his 2 feet on the ground, or was it Austin? And Austin said, "Yeah, I have my 2 feet on the ground. I don't care." And he just stunned people, and they just moved past on it. And like, okay, I feel like that happened, or was it Shawn Michaels?
Yeah.
Was it Austin? I know Shawn had his 2 feet on the floor, on 2 feet. But I know that happened. Same thing with Austin. And he said that I did have my 2 feet on the floor. He doesn't care. I'm still the baddest son of a bitch, and he made it to Mania.
I can't remember. I gotta look it up, but they got to keep the momentum going. They got to let Bianca have her moment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So let's talk about Raw. What's up? So Edge, Orton, that's finally done. I feel like they don't need to prolong that. I feel he finally got what he wanted. That's cool. He's headed to Mania.
I missed the first hour of Raw tonight.
You didn't miss much.
Yeah. Like I'm just trying to. In my head, I'm trying to book. Okay, how am I booking Edge at Mania? I can't do it. I don't know how I get from point A to point B. You know, do I want to see him versus Roman and battle the spears, and the spear the hell out of each other for a while, or do I want to see him versus Drew? But I don't see Edge making it to Mania. I can't picture him at Mania, let alone winning at Mania. I don't know.
Katrina, what you thought of Raw?
Oh, what part? Like, there were parts that were decent, that were solid, but then there were parts that I'm like I said, the whole Alexa Bliss nonsense. I've been over Alexa Bliss since the beginning of December. It is now February, so I'm over it. I don't like the whole, like I said, I feel like they took too much of the Fiend. And it's like, if I wanted a mini Fiend, we don't need the Fiend, you know? Like, if he's supposed to be such a, everybody, I was not impressed when he first came out, but everybody was like, oh, you don't understand Katrina, and he's going to be all of these things, which is total nonsense, like I figured. And then we have Alexa Bliss now becoming him, and I'm like, so then what's so special about the Fiend if it's so easily to be replicated? That defeats everything that was supposed to be special about him. So I'm over the Alexa Bliss thing. The whole match with her and Nikki Cross was completely unnecessary. I hated that Nikki Cross had to take another L. She's been taking, every time she goes on TV, she takes an L. Yeah. And Alexa Bliss can take a couple of L's. She's not, her character will not diminish for her taking a couple of L's. I don't like it. In regards to Drew and Sheamus, which is what Raw started off with, I'm okay with that because that's what I thought we were going to get in the first place before Goldberg Randy came on my TV screen. I was waiting for Sheamus and Drew when they had that first backstage fight, and then they went out for drinks afterwards, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm getting vibes that Sheamus is feeling a little weird about Drew's title right now. That was from like a few months ago, and so I'm okay with this feud starting. Even though I didn't like the reasoning behind it, I'm okay with the feud starting. Edge did all that talking, calling Drew the thing. Drew had like a target on his back, and then he didn't even say a damn thing about who he was facing. Like he implied he would. He was going to tell people at the end of the show. He did not. Raw went off, and I don't know who he's. I'm going to assume he's probably is going to go for Roman, which then leaves the way for best friends to fight, which is Sheamus and Drew. I feel like he's going to go for Roman because he didn't say a goddamn game like, oh, by the way, I beat Randy Orton. The saga's over between the two of us with this, like, ridiculous, I'm your brother, I'm doing this for you nonsense storyline. Oh, I won the match, but let me not tell you that Drew, I'm coming for you. Made no sense in Raw like that if you're going to do all that in the beginning of the show. So I think he's going for Roman for that reason. So I'm okay with it. And Edge, seemed a little tired today, but he lasted the whole Rumble. He was like the first man in, and he lasted. So I guess if he prepares himself for WrestleMania, he might be okay. Like he might not be he did look a little tired today, to me at least.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Carlito. Carlito still moves very well. I love Jeff Hardy anyway, so it was a nice little 2008 throwback. Like, okay guys, I see y'all. Like, not necessarily a match, but it was like a little nostalgia for me. Like, oh, I love Jeff Hardy, and Carlito looks actually better than he did in 2008. So that's a nice little moment for, and I feel like the rest of the matches were very quick. Like, it dragged, but it was like every match they had tonight seemed very, very quick to me. So nothing really.
I mean, you only have 10 minutes to show your stuff in a match sometimes, unless you're the main event. So I mean, yeah, that was really good. But I think so. I just go over the highlights and just go one by one. Bobby Lashley and Matt Riddle. That was actually I don't want to say Hurt Business. I mean, I don't know if MVP is being a bad coach right now or Hurt Business is. I feel there's a little bump in the road with Hurt Business, and I feel like if you're MVP, you gotta control your group, and it looks like he can't control Bobby Lashley. I mean, he had the Hurt Lock on Matt Riddle for way too long. Looks like Riddle could have hurt. I mean, Riddle got what he, I guess, somewhat. I mean, he got what he deserved, but I don't know, man. I feel like he can't control Bobby Lashley now, and we'll go on with what happened in the tag teams later. But yeah, man, what's gonna happen with Riddle and Bobby Lashley? You think Riddle's gonna get that United States belt soon?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Lashley might get it.
He's so over right now. No, he's super over right now. Even last night at Rumble, he had some good segments in the Rumble last night. So this is the most I've liked of Matt Riddle. I didn't like him on the Indies. I didn't like him in Evolve, all like that, you know. And this is the most I'm liking him now. So I can picture with the title.
Yeah.
You know, soon.
Elimination Chamber? Or maybe Mania. I'm thinking maybe Mania. I don't know, it's too long. Mania's like right there, but I don't know. I don't know if Riddle's gonna get his moment, but probably. But I don't think not anytime soon. Katrina, what do you think? Riddle and Lashley. What do you think of that segment, real quick?
It was quick. I felt like every match, as you know, I was like writing my article while watching. So I'm like, if I'm able to finish this quickly, this is a quick match. So he got out there. I felt like Bobby Lashley did that because he's angry. Matt Riddle legit like went through all of Hurt Business last week, all three of them, like a piece of cake. It's like it's nothing. And I feel like Bobby Lashley felt the weight. Like I feel like Bobby Lashley felt that the rest of his squad left him hanging because he didn't fight Bobby Lashley during that gauntlet. He fought MVP, Cedric, and Shelton. He beat all three of them. So I feel like Bobby Lashley is like tight that his boat had to be put on the line for his team to kind of mess it up for him. And I feel like that's why Matt Riddle got the extra today. I feel like the Hurt Business would break up sooner or later because there's too much discord for me. Even though MVP was like on the commentary later on in the tag team match, even with that match and that win, it seemed that it wasn't gelling. And I feel like they're going to try to break him up eventually. So I do see Matt Riddle taking the U.S. title eventually. I don't know when. I don't know if I feel like that's a Mania match. Like, I don't know if I'm like, oh my God, Mania, Matt Riddle and Bobby Lashley. I don't feel like I'm going to be pumped up for that. But I do think he's going to take it within the next few months because otherwise, why the hell are we doing this to Matt Riddle with like all these extra things to Hurt Business by himself for him to lose? Like, I feel like that's a bit much.
Yeah. All right, following that, we got Xavier Woods versus Mustafa Ali. It was actually a pretty decent match, but New Day got the win over Retribution, Xavier got the W against Ali. I actually like this feud. It's actually a pretty good feud. But I don't know where it's going on from here. I mean, I don't know. It's a pretty decent feud. Mustafa Ali got that L. So what you guys thought about this one? Gary,
okay.
What do you thought of this one?
You want me to go?
Sure.
I'm okay with this feud.
Yeah, you go. I'll go after.
Okay. I'm okay with the feud. I do like that he's kind of going through Xavier Woods because Kofi kind of can't right now, and like I like that he was like kind of trash talking. Like even when he was like, "Oh, look how you got the win." It wasn't even like a legit win or whatever. And I was like, "Okay, Mustafa." And I feel like Mustafa plays up this gimmick so well because he's always like on Twitter like saying the most like I think he said something last night about like it's time for me to welcome all the old people too. And I was
actually like that tweet. That was actually a really good tweet.
I wasn't sure if they like took it as a joke but I felt like Mustafa kind of been very honest with his tweets in the last 3 months that he probably meant that. With regards to all the people, the fact that there was only 2 people under 30 in the Rumble yesterday, everybody else was over 30. So I guess that's what that was implying to.
I feel like he knows where he's going with his gimmick now.
But I do like he's very honest. Like anybody says anything that sounds ridiculous, he's always ready like with the facts on Twitter. And I'm like, you know what, Mustafa, I appreciate this so much because you might get in trouble for this by WWE, but I don't think you really give a shit, and I'm okay with that, you know. So, I'm okay with it. I feel like it's nice. It's a nice way to give Xavier Woods his shine too much without relying on Big E and Kofi. But I mean, we'll see where it's going because I feel like Mustafa is just using Xavier because he wants Kofi, but Kofi cannot. So we'll see.
And there's a good time for Xavier to show like his little singles run. I mean, you know, especially with Kofi, but with his corner, that'd be cool. So it's a good way for Xavier to shine. Gary, what are your thoughts?
With me, I like the feud. I just wish that I thought they would have some of Retribution in the Rumble. Against New Day, they kind of Big E and Xavier Woods against Mustafa and like T-Bar or somebody and whoever. They could have kind of brought that to a head, but they didn't. I like the feud. It's nice seeing Xavier Woods in singles. I only remember Xavier Woods with New Day and with him and Lethal Consequences back in the day. We're talking
like Austin Creed.
My Xavier Woods.
With Austin Creed, yeah.
Yeah. So Mike Xavier was singles is kind of fuzzy, so it's exciting to see him. I didn't know how good he really was until like recently. So I like the feud, but it's not going to go anywhere. You know, they're just mid carders at this point. So you know, it's going to die off sooner before it can really get started because everybody's injured around him and Retribution is not over. So
I feel
I
like
gotta enjoy it while I can because
I feel Retribution's gonna die before 2022 hits. Like even after Mean, I feel like not unless Retribution. Like I can see probably if they really want to make this shine for Mania, a bunch of like old school Ruthless Aggression guys, and there's Retribution. Like, you know, like okay, like go shine, go make Retribution shine. Like show like, or like Retribution just versus Goldberg. You know, just like, you know, fuck all the old timers. Go you know, go do your thing. You know, Retribution beats up Goldberg and whatever. I don't know what they're gonna do with Retribution, but I know where Ali's. You know, if Ali wants to get on these legends and Hall of Famers taking their shine, feud with probably Carlito, Jeff. Who else? Who else they can bring back? You know, for Mania to make Retribution a thing, but I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be
Christian.
There you go.
You can do part-time basis, Christian.
Yeah. Make that the pre-show. It'll be entertaining. I don't know, but I can see if they really want to make them a thing, then probably put them with that. I don't know. I mean, Orton. I don't know. No. They have to bring back somebody to make them shine, especially where Retribution's going. But if Retribution's going to feud New Day till Mania...
What about John Cena? What about...
There you go. That could be a thing.
What about Cena?
Well, he's not going to be at Mania. At least that's what he said today, so...
I don't know what they're going to do with Retribution for... I mean, after New Day, I mean, who else are you going to feud with? I mean, you got to find another excuse to be like, hey, you're taking my spotlight. You're making that... So... Oh, Miz. He could feud with Miz, maybe. I don't think
he could be a Retribution against Imperium on the third brand.
Wouldn't that be the fourth brand or third?
Actually like
3.2. All right, next.
2.5.
Next segment of the night right here. Bad Bunny brings out Damian Priest to Miz TV. Great. I love that. That's a good way to bring out somebody who's not established yet.
I
was actually very surprised that he came out for the second night. I mean, I thought, you know, normally he did this one and done, you know, after a pay-per-view, but man, my man really wants a WWE career. So
listen.
He can't make it off his shoes. He got his shoes off.
That's nice and all, but I did not need to see him on my TV 2 nights in a row. People need to stop. Like, is it good to cross over? Of course it is. I'm all for being able to cross promote when you get eyes to a product. I understand that. Totally understand that. I even think there was some sneaker reference to get people who like sneakers onto WWE. That is smart. Understand that totally. Did I need to see him ever again? Absolutely not. Did I think it was extremely disrespectful to have somebody because he's like a big fellow artist right now, bring in Damian Priest like Damian Priest is absolutely nobody? Absolutely not. It was unacceptable. Damian Priest has been wrestling for 20-something years. How the hell do you need Bad Bunny to represent? No. It's disrespectful to Damian Priest. Like, Damian Priest was some scrub that there was like, oh, we signed this dude. Let's get Bad Bunny to introduce to WWE Universe. Like, he wasn't doing good things at NXT. Stop it. And I feel like the fact that nobody finds that disrespectful is just insane to me. Like, Bad Bunny is not the reason I know who Damian Priest is, because I didn't know Bad Bunny until last week. I didn't know who Bad Bunny was. The only bunny I could think of is the Trix Rabbit and Bugs Bunny. Okay? Didn't know Bad Bunny. I didn't even know half the crap that my daughter likes is. I didn't even know any of that existed until last week. And yet, you need him to introduce Damian Priest, one of the best workers in NXT? Get the fuck out of here. No. Unacceptable. That was not the good segment. I didn't need the Miz. That whole Miz and John Morrison nonsense, that was a wasted segment on my TV. It was unnecessary, and I did not need to see Bugs Bunny again. You could have just had Damian Priest come out and kick, call it fast and call it a day. That was it. We didn't need to have all this extra And because he's the highest selling artist at the time. Okay, and that's nice. A lot of people have, like, that's like if Michael Jackson was alive and came, would I want him to see him? I love Michael Jackson, but I didn't need to see you. No, we don't need you. It's not necessary. I don't just not necessary. No, Damian Priest, that's disrespectful to him. He's too good of a wrestler to be demoted to Bad Bunny. He's like, oh, this is my guy introducing me to everybody else like he's a scrub. No, don't do that. That was rude. I didn't like that at all. At all.
I mean, I know. Remember, who was it? Remember when Gargano and Ciampa was in Raw, and I think Ciampa was NXT, Gargano was North American champion, and you know they had their feud in NXT, but when they went to Raw, people did not know who they were because they didn't get the same pop as they were in NXT. You know, so I feel like, hey, if people never watch NXT and here's Damian Priest, Bad Bunny, here you go.
Does that really matter in Thunderdome? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If this is a live crowd and they was worried about, he might not get a buzz from the crowd, maybe. But we're in Thunderdome era audience right now. That is not going to change. The audience is not mad. You see the audience, and I've been in Thunderdome God knows how many times since it aired. And none of us, it's not like it's so much different of what we're doing when they tell you to clap. They literally tell you in your ear, oh, well, if it's for a heel, for instance, boo. And then I will always say, I will never boo Roman Reigns. I don't care what he is, heel, face, whatever, tween, I will never boo Roman Reigns. So when they tell us to do that, I'm like, I'm not doing that. So like Goldberg, I will always boo him. I don't care what he is. Roman Reigns, I will always cheer for. It's that kind of vibe. So you don't need that for Thunderdome. This is the Thunderdome. We don't need him to be introduced to anybody. Like, we didn't see the Royal Rumble last night. Or, like, he was not just NXT North American champion and we lost to Gargano. He had that dope-ass match at Halloween Havoc, and yet we need Bad Bunny to introduce him in February. Get the fuck out of here, like I said. He had one of the best matches of that Halloween Havoc NXT show. That match was fire. But Bad Bunny needs introduced to the world. Give me a break. Stop it. You just shenanigans.
It's the main show. I mean, people watch Raw. They don't watch SmackDown because people watch AEW. So, I don't know. Gary, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on Bad Bunny introducing Damian Priest to the world?
I'm saying, hola mi gente. I got my Espanol bag going on. Cosa dice? Smoking Espanol. I want all the smoke for Bad Bunny. Last night, he had that splash, which is way better than Snoop Dogg's.
Yeah.
Way better than Uncle Snoop's splash.
Would you call that a splash? I would call it
Bad Bunny comes in tonight. He wipes his feet off.
Snoop Dogg was also like near 50.
I guess
Snoop Dogg is near 50.
Levi's must have been too crispy because Bad Bunny.
And I didn't like Snoop Dogg. I didn't like Snoop's move either. He also is near 50, and Bad Bunny is younger than me. So all I'm saying is he should be better than Snoop Dogg. If he was worse, I'll be like, okay, you might have to ask yourself why. What's happening with your knees? Like, I couldn't do that because my knees are not that great. So I know I can't do that. So it should have been better than Snoop. Snoop is damn near 50 and not over 50 by now. He's probably over 50. His thing should not be that great. It should not be. Bad Bunny's thing should be better. Like, if every wrestling fan wants to get, like, I feel like we don't need every wrestling fan because they think I'm tired of seeing, like, no, I don't, because, okay, everybody likes wrestling too. Does that mean I get to go into the ring? Like, if I can get my books to ever get to, like, J.K. Rowling, does that mean because I'm a wrestling fan, I need to go and end up in the ring magically? That's like me saying, oh, let me introduce the first person because I'm saying, no, like, just disrespectful. Y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta stop putting people in these pedestals. Like, it's some trend thing.
Vinny Mac said, okay.
No.
Yeah, Vinny Mac said, okay, who's the hottest? What do these young people like these days? Oh, get me Bad Bunny. He comes in tonight. I guarantee you, look at the ratings tonight for the 18 to 49 demo. When Bad Bunny came out, I bet you it's probably one of the top segments. You know, he said he played it good. You know, he came in, he wiped his feet, he sat down, he was talking that talk.
Would you get another?
I won't be surprised if I see him.
I mean, this is a good example of, like, man, what's hot right now, Bad Bunny, or should we get Flo Rida back? You know what? Who's this Bad Bunny guy? All right, there you go.
Right.
Because Flo Rida was cool back in the day, in the early 2000 for them. But you know what? Hey, let's get Bad Bunny. he's a wrestling fan.
Like,
I mean,
LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball is another
they
one.
should have gotten every artist they ever had. Like, I think the Weeknd song is the WrestleMania theme for this year. It's a song by the Weeknd. He's doing the Super Bowl. Do you see the Weeknd sitting up here on WWE? He's way more talented than Bad Bunny. But let's keep telling me how we get the hottest thing when the guy is doing the Super Bowl.
Did the Weeknd do a Booker T song? I mean, hey, Bad Bunny did a song about Booker T. And granted, I never know Bad.
And Wyclef did a freaking song about The Rock. What does that mean?
I mean, they did their whole entire album.
What does that mean? He is not the first person to make a song about a wrestler. Like I said, stop putting people on these pedestals like they're doing things that's so different. Wyclef literally had a song talking about it doesn't matter, and that was a whole bomb.
And Run DMC did a song with DX. And Run DMC did a song with DX. I mean, Method Man did a song. I mean, they can't have the whole entire Wu-Tang come out, you know, during.
Method Man on that song with The Rock, and again, they are wrestling fans. Did we need to see Wu-Tang do a move all of a sudden? Wu-Tang is one of the most influential hip-hop bands of all fucking time. Did they end up in the WWE ring? Absolutely not. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not the first wrestling fan who did rap or did any song that made a song about a wrestler. He's one of many. So if that is the excuse you're going to use, you're going to have to name everybody else who made a song about a wrestler. All
right. So for that's the that's the WWE aggression album that I'm pretty sure, hey, rappers do. But if somebody like Bad Bunny just wanted to do a song about Booker T, then it end up being fire or whatnot, and for them, hey, who's this guy? He did a song about Booker T. We didn't even ask him to. Hey, let's have him on. Oh, he's a big wrestling fan. Fuck it, make him shine.
I just said Wyclef did a song. They didn't ask Wyclef to do a song about The Rock. He did it because he wanted to. He took a catchphrase and made a song about it. Song was pretty catchy. Rock was in the video too and did a lot more than Booker T did in the video. A lot more, mind you. Did I see Wyclef doing moves in the wrestling ring? Wyclef, again, one of the most celebrated artists of all time, actually talented, did not end up in the wrestling ring doing moves.
Maybe because Wyclef didn't ask for it? Maybe Wyclef didn't ask for it? I mean, if Bad Bunny wants to say, hey, can I get in there? Fuck it, go ahead, kid. Do it, shine.
All I'm saying is that is the reason why he's in the ring, because he made a song about wrestling. He's one of many. That cannot be the reason. It has something so amazing that I'm wasting TV time watching on my TV screen when I should see the wrestlers upset. That's when people complain about, like, oh, this.
I mean, this is more of entertainment than, hey, this is wrestling.
I was not entertained. I was annoyed.
Well, I thought it was alright.
Like,
I mean,
let me
hey.
my friend Damien Priest, like Damien Priest wasn't wrestling all this time. No, that was not entertaining to me. That was insulting. Because I'm like, bro, don't do that. Don't do that. Now, if Damien Priest came from like an indie scene, and we've never seen him but like one or two indie shows, and he just describes as the Royal Rumble, I was like, all right, that makes sense. But Damien Priest just lost championship a month ago, so now he's unknown to everybody. Now he's unknown. Now he needs some random guy to introduce him to the universe, even though he was known already. Because that makes sense. Okay, I guess. Gotta pick and choose now. Can't be picking and choosing when things make sense.
Remember when New Day and the Usos had that rap battle? They had Wale. Wale definitely didn't need to be there, but he was there.
Bo Dallas with this guy.
Yeah, Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas wrecked my dude.
I was like, why is he there? My energy is the same all around. I don't pick and choose what works for me.
It's hard to do same energy for everything. I mean, same energy for everything doesn't really work. I mean, I keep hearing the same energy. I'm like, man, wrestling is an opinion, man. It's not even a fact. It's just an opinion.
But I mean the same energy is people tend to pick a different opinion if they like somebody instead of being, what is the word? Being able to look at something objectively. They'll give a pass to something if they are a favorite of somebody. That's what I mean by keep the energy.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's hard to do it. It's hard. I can't think of same energy for everything.
Was a waste of a space, but they have more men in the roster than women. That's what I mean by keeping the same energy. Like, when I mean keeping the energy, meaning I can look at things objectively without being like, oh, this is my favorite, so I can excuse the nonsense because it's my favorite. That's what I mean about keeping the energy.
All right.
Literally, I don't pick my favorite passes because I like them.
I mean, moving forward. We had like 30 minutes of Bad Bunny. Hurt Business versus Lucha House Party. Man, I really want Lucha House Party to get a W and to get those titles. For a group of luchadors, that rarely happens. But hey, it was a decent match. There was a couple of botches here and there, but hey, I mean, lucha style it's a hard style. I mean, it's Cirque du Soleil, it's flipping, it's all that stuff to nail it. I mean, it's tough. You need good timing for everything. But hey, the fact that Lucha House Party is actually getting some some TV time against the Hurt Business, that's pretty cool. Again, there's some little stumbles along the road for Hurt Business. The fact that Shelton Benjamin tagged Cedric without even Cedric reaching out his hand. He wanted to get that W, but Shelton got the W instead. So yeah, man, there's some stumbles along the road for Hurt Business. What you guys thought about that, man? Carrie.
Well, Lucha House Party, it's about time they get a shot with the titles. Are they still in the Cruiserweight Classic or did they lose? Do you guys know?
Bro, I don't even watch 205 Live. I don't know if that's still a thing.
No, that's on NXT.
Oh,
the Cruiserweight Classic was on NXT. They're in it.
They're in it?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah, well, the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic.
Dusty Rhodes. Okay. I don't know.
In terms of the Hurt Business, like they better not break up. I think it's too soon. Like they kind of saved Raw at one point in time. They're kind of the most interesting for Raw for a while now, but I don't know. I don't want to see them breaking up, but at the same time, I see it coming.
I feel they need something. Like they need, if this is something for them to overcome an obstacle to show that, hey, even though we have some stuff along the road, we're gonna overcome this. You know, similar to almost Undisputed Era, how like, damn, we keep losing, all that stuff, but we're not gonna break up. Or same thing, similar with New Day, like show little stuff within the group that, hey, if we can overcome this, then you know we're still a team. We're gonna do our best. You know, so I feel like they're not gonna break up, but it's good to show that, hey, even though we're the Hurt Business and stuff like that, we're gonna overcome this, and there you go. I mean, and maybe retain that. What's up?
Would they kick somebody out and add somebody else in?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Like Lashley they kick MVP out. You the only one who ain't got no gold. You out the business. I got the US belt. They got the tag. The one who ain't got no gold, and then they can get.
Oh, my man froze.
Keith Lee.
Oh, Keith Lee. Nah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. It's too early to guess something like that to break up, or to kick somebody out.
Yeah.
Katrina, what do you think? What do you think about this?
Lucha House Party, they've been doing okay the last couple of weeks, actually, and they've been getting some wins because they had them losing for months. I was like, goddamn. And not just on, like, Raw SmackDown, like, even on main event.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why I'm saying.
That's why
they're giving them no breaks. So, like, they're going to have them, like, they absolutely suck. They're like, they're not that bad. Like, why, like, come on. They got to keep taking these L's. So I was okay that they've been winning, and I forgot what was this SmackDown. They actually, like, it was a great match. And I was like, all right, guys, show them what I figured, but they kept making it like you guys were, like, weak or something. As far as the Hurt Business, I don't necessarily want them to break up, but they're nothing without MVP.
Yeah, that's true.
They're nothing without him. And they wouldn't even be a thing. Like, we would still be seeing Bobby Lashley and Lana if it wasn't for MVP. So, they would, and then Cedric was getting lost in the shuffle until MVP was like, you know what, bro, come this way. And why I love Shelton Benjamin with regards to his wrestling ability. He's one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen in the ring. I did not care about him before the Hurt Business. I didn't want to see him on my team. I wasn't like, ooh, I can't wait to see a Shelton Benjamin match. That was not me. But when he got MVP and they come in with their suits looking extra fly and looking sharp, and I was like, all right, guys, okay. We've got 4 sharp-dressed brothers. Got, you know, black men represented, dressed nicely, not no stereotypical black men either. Like, why are we dressed? They talking all, it's like talking. I'm like, yes, thank you, because I am so tired of those ghetto gimmicks that keep giving black people. I hate that. Like, we can be all the things, you know? So I feel like they're great together, but I do feel like because MVP has been calling Cedric, like, prime time as if he's separating them from everybody else, that if they break up, it might be Cedric leaving. If the other ones stay together, it will be Cedric. I will take that. I will leave because he's giving me the vibe he's not happy. Even today, when Shelton tagged himself in during that match, he did not look happy. Like he looked very upset. That even though they got the win and they kept their belts, but Shelton, why did you take my time? And that's the vibe I got from that. So I feel like if anything, if they don't break up completely, it will probably be Cedric leaving.
Okay. In Lucha House Party, wasn't there like a third member? Was this Sin Cara? No.
Sometimes he's part of the group.
Who?
But
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes and I think Kalisto too. I think sometimes they're
It was
part of the group,
Kalisto,
but
right? They had little beef and all that stuff, and hey, we kick him out, Lucha House Party or something. It's one of those. I don't know, but yeah, they I just want to see them get the belts at least one time. I mean, it's you know, you don't really get a successful lucha group outside of Rey Mysterio to be like, hey, so you know. I mean, the hottest one of the
Grand Metalik is probably
right. I mean, in NXT, it was Kalisto and Sin Cara that they were dope as a team, and yeah, granted they didn't get the belts, but they were really dope in NXT. So now to see a group like this, you know, it'd be cool for once in a lifetime. Then Hurt Business got it back.
I got Grand Metalik. I have Grand Metalik number 2 in all of pro wrestling right now as far as his rope work. I have Ray Phoenix 1. Actually, no, excuse me. He's 3rd. I got Ray Phoenix 1, Phantasmo 2, and Grand Metalik 3rd as far as ring rope. The stuff they do with the ring ropes, they do some crazy stuff.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
Grand Metalik 3rd. All of pro wrestling.
All right, moving forward, we got Charlotte Flair and Asuka versus Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke versus Naomi and Lana. Just put, is Riot Squad in Raw or SmackDown?
I think SmackDown.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. That's a good question.
I mean, for putting people together. I mean, yeah. So yeah, interesting to see. The one who won this was Naomi and Lana put together. I mean,
that surprised me.
I mean, I guess what, they're dancers. That's why they're together.
Don't do that.
Mandy and Dana because they're blonde. I mean, Charlotte and Asuka because, you know, one's an empress, one's a queen. I mean, I don't know.
I like how you did that there.
I mean, that's
like how you did that.
That I'm just going by like what Vincent, like, you're a dancer? All right, put them together. I don't know. I don't make this stuff up. Mandy and Dana, they're blonde. I don't know. Put them together.
Well, the reason they got put together was because Sonya Deville had that whole situation with the man came into her and Mandy's house and she took a break. Okay. Dana Brooke was taking a whole lot of L's. They put them together. That's it. It has nothing to do with them being blonde. As far as Asuka and Charlotte, again, they were it was just probably to get, you said it was to get Charlotte a belt. Well, I guess that's why. With regards to Naomi and Lana, let's not disrespect Naomi and call her Lana a dancer. Lana cannot dance. She cannot dance. Don't disrespect Naomi, who was a professional dancer before she became a wrestler. She was a sports team cheerleader. Don't do that. That's what I said. Don't do that. Just because Lana can do TikToks, don't mean she can dance. Just because Lana did TikTok does not mean she can dance. I didn't see enough white girls do TikTok videos. Doesn't mean they can dance. Don't do that. Don't do that. I feel like they put Lana with Naomi because Naomi made her return. And Lana, the thing she had happening with Shayna and Nia Jax is Lana keeps getting the pull. For some reason, she keeps getting pulling the wool over their eyes. Every time Lana is around Nia Jax, or Shayna, she gets a win. And I feel like, oh, we're going for the tag team titles. Let's throw Lana in the match. She's the only one that seems to keep pulling these random wins over the two of them for months now. Let's put Lana in this match. That is the only reason that makes sense to me. because and Naomi also made her return. So you gotta get her. She did great at the Rumble. You gotta give her some more TV time. Lana was thrown in there because Lana was the one who eliminated Nia Jax. It will make sense. Oh, you guys are gonna fight me for the belt now? They're gonna probably beat Lana's ass. They're probably gonna go for broke on Lana because Lana made it back to fight them again. I feel like this is to continue that storyline between her and Shayna and Nia Jax. I feel like that's the only reason why Lana got thrown in there. Like, let's continue the shenanigans with three of y'all. It was her, Nettie, and then it was her, and who was it? Lana and I forgot who the person she was with. They had Lana just randomly there, getting these wins over Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax for no reason. And I feel like this is another way to keep that storyline going.
Okay. I mean, yeah. I mean, for a long storyline with Nia and Jax, yeah. I guess. Charlotte Flair and Asuka. Yeah, go ahead, man. What's up?
All right. Would the women benefit from having another singles title? Because it's the same people going after like the women's title. Would it benefit them to have like a secondary title?
That's gonna take up
Singles
one.
title.
That's probably gonna take up another section of TV time, and two, do they have enough women to get another title? I mean, that's always I always wanted a secondary women's title, but I always felt that SmackDown, Raw, then there's the NXT, then there's the tag team. I feel like the tag team title should be. They should already have established tag teams for the women's, but a lot of them are singles competitors, and that I felt to have another title. I feel like I don't know. I don't want to say it's gonna be a waste, but will they have enough time and to have That's one of the things. I mean, look up what's this title? Look at the 24/7 title. they have to waste like 2 minutes. 2 minutes for this to happen. For a women's title, that's gonna be another established storyline. And can you squeeze that in? If already convoluted. If anything, there should be a second women's title in NXT. That would be cool. Even that gets very. Even the NXT the women on NXT Women's UK title, do they even defend that? I mean, they have to squeeze that into NXT Prime TV, not NXT UK TV. Sounds like. So it's just finding time, create a really good storyline. I felt like if anything, that NXT the tag team should be the one, I guess the mid card belt, but two, it should be for all the women's. Put everything together. But I don't know if it'll be what would they call it? North American Women's Championship, Intercontinental Women's Championship.
So you want a title for NXT, yet you just said about the development of the brand. That's what I mean about y'all picking and choosing when NXT is not the brand and when it's not. Why would the title only go to NXT if they're supposed to be the third brand according to you?
Because it should be like you said. There's not enough women. Put them all together, universally. I mean, for example, the NXT UK's belt that could have been a good mid card belt. / you don't have to establish it as mid card belt. It can go all around, Same thing with the women's tag team championship. That should be a universal thing. They should go all around. I liked it when Sasha and Bayley were NXT women's tag team championships, but they're able to go to different shows and defend it. But now it's just stuck in one place. Go to different spots.
Well, I'm gonna keep saying COVID does change a lot of problems.
What happened? You guys both talk.
Oh, you can go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't sure what happened. No, what I was saying is I think COVID changed a lot of that. Like when Sasha and Bayley's tag team run was before COVID started. So I do think a lot of times we have to keep that in mind when we're thinking about traveling.
I know. Like for that COVID, yeah, yes, it is true. But if you're where's the Thunderdome located? In Florida, right?
Okay.
Is it Thunderdome in Florida? Is it?
Everybody don't live in Florida now. Like, that was literally one of the reasons Rhea Ripley was gone for so long. She went home and could not come back. Like,
yeah. But I mean, second women's belt. I don't know. It's hard.
We
It's
didn't
hard
need
to.
the tag team titles. I never felt the only two tag teams was what? The Bellas, who were gone, and then the Iconics, and then the Riot Squad, if you count Sarah Logan before she dipped.
I mean, yes, Vince don't like tag teams. I totally get that. But to have another belt to squeeze in that rarely gets probably defended. I mean, they didn't even defend the tag team championships for a while, you know. And to have a secondary belt, I mean, I don't know.
That's what they need. I feel like they should get a secondary belt and scrap the tag team title belts. We don't need them. If there was more established women tag teams, I'd be like, all right. But most of the teams are just people thrown together. It was like, okay, let's put you two together and see what happens.
I mean, majority of the times, that's how tag teams really are. You know, two singles put together. I mean, granted, okay, Hardys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian were singles before, you know. But outside of that, you don't really get enough tag teams. That's how majority of times. Look at them. They're all single competitors before they come together.
Like,
you literally have to go day one in television.
No, we're about throwing together, like, not people that didn't hate each other last week, but now they're a tag team the following week. And granted, of course, we had those couple of things like when The Rock and Mankind was a tag team, and that was obviously a very random pairing. Mm-hmm. But most times before a tag team forum, they're at least in a stable. And then that makes sense to me. Like, oh, you're in a stable for a while. Now you guys can go for the tag team titles. Not somebody who I hated last week. Like, I don't like you, but now here we are fighting the belt, and I'm supposed to be your tag team partner. Like, that's ridiculous. And there's too many of those for me. Like, I feel like if they was going to give another women's title that could have floated around all three shows, then we didn't need the women's tag team, especially since they broke up the Iconics, which I still don't understand. Like, I don't understand. And they put Peyton Royce with Lacey Evans, and I'm like, so why did you break up the Iconics? At least with Billie Kay, they literally was grinding together this whole time. That tag team made sense. But no, let's just put her there. Let's dye Peyton's hair and throw her in with Lacey Evans, who's still not that good in the ring. And here we are in the tag team. That makes no sense. It's like, you guys don't want tag teams, but let's throw tag teams together. Like, we don't know where we stand with tag teams.
I wasn't surprised. I mean, I would love them to see them together. I mean,
my thing is, there's so many WWE mid-card women. They're never going to get a shot at the main, either main title.
Yeah. Like
Natty, she's never getting another shot. I don't see Naomi getting a shot no time soon. I don't see Peyton Royce, who I like her as a singles wrestler. She's gotten way better. She's not going to get a shot at the title anytime soon. And it makes some interesting storylines if they have something to go over, then have a definitive challenger for one of the two titles instead of it going to like the same 5 people or 4 people.
It's gonna be tough. I mean, it's so over now. It's getting so over. Like, so many. There's a lot of people. They need a faction to get more TV time. I mean, that's if you want to shine, make a faction. You get everybody yourself on one screen, but it's tough. And I felt the tag team was a good idea because now, okay, you can get more people. You can get 2 or 4 people in the screen at one time. Now you got more TV time. But having a singles, okay, now you have to, like I said, you have to find TV time to put all these guys together. You gotta make a tournament. You gotta book it, and who knows.
Well, if we can find TV time for Bad Bunny, we can find TV time for one more women's wrestling. Don't do that. We just wasted 15 minutes of my life with Bad Bunny and shenanigans, but we don't have time.
Like, technically, you had Miz. You had Miz. You have Morrison and Damian all in that same TV time. That was cool, though.
And John Morrison was not needed in that segment. He didn't do anything outside of him saying, "Oh, he got like the greatest number song." He did some weird dance.
He's with Miz.
What that segment was. The Miz was honestly only there to bring Bad Bunny because he destroyed his DJ equipment at Royal Rumble. So we had time for that segment. We can definitely put some more women in. We got time for those segments. We got time for everybody's long thought process in the locker room about, oh, let me give you a long soliloquy or thesis about why I'm going to beat you up tonight. That will do like 20 million backstage interviews. I feel like everybody does a backstage interview now. If we got time for those segments, we have time for more women wrestling. Every week, everybody gets a backstage interview, and it's like we don't need everybody's interviews. It's not nothing that happened is that important for me to waste time talking to everybody talking to Charlie Caruso. Why? We didn't need to see Edge talk 2 times tonight. But him and Randy Orton had 2 times to talk, and I'm like, but why do we need 2 different interviews from you guys? We heard you. Drew McIntyre's interview tonight, totally, and I love Drew. But we didn't need to hear him say, oh, Sheamus, we're not family. Well, obviously, when Sheamus kicked you in the face, that sounded like some friendship was in it right there, personally. We didn't need an interview telling you to repeat the same thing, like, oh, our friendship is over. We got that when he kicked you in your face. That was very clear. We didn't need an interview 15 minutes later. Oh, Drew, how do you feel about your friendship? Oh, well, it's ended. Duh. We got that. That was a waste of TV segment. So if we got time for all those shenanigans, we can get some more time for women wrestling. Like that. No. We had a whole bunch of nonsense we didn't need tonight. We did not need half that stuff, and we got it.
Okay, moving forward. Carlito and Jeff Hardy versus Elias and Jackson Riker. Okay. Ruthless aggression.
Where year are we in?
We got some ruthless aggression and new guys.
Mysterio. All them in the ring last night, so I'm trying to figure out what year are we in. This can't be like my time machine with WWE. It's crazy.
Is Rey Mysterio? No, he's SmackDown, right? Ray SmackDown. Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of Retribution again. If Retribution came out after Jeff and these guys celebrate their win, I mean that would actually move forward to them. But yeah. Okay. I mean, Carlito came back, got the W with Jeff. Jeff actually executed a really good swanton. I actually like that. Carlito, cool, backstabber for the W. He showed that he can still wrestle. But he actually has an indie promotion in Puerto Rico, so cool. He hella buff in this. Jackson Riker and Elias still a thing. That's cool. There you go. What you guys thought of that, Carlito? You think after Mania he's done? I don't know. What's he gonna do? Go for another mid card title? I mean, future United States champion, future IC
cool.
guy.
Elias or Riker?
What happened?
So who Elias or Riker?
No, Carlito.
Oh.
I don't care about Elias and Riker. I mean, they're whatever. They're here to mid card. I mean, that's all I can think of for them for booking. Why is Carlito here?
24/7 title.
Yeah.
24/7 title.
Cool.
That's cool.
That's what's up. I don't know why Carlito's back. I mean, I thought it was just a one and done deal. But if this guy wants to he wants to end it his way, I don't know. I want to end my career in WWE my way. I don't know. I can't. I don't know why he's back.
With the 24/7 title.
Sure. Okay. Katrina, do you like Carlito?
I mean, I didn't really like him when he was in there in 2008, no lie. But like I said, he seemed like he was even more like with his ring ability sounded a lot better than it did in 2008. I was actually surprised yesterday. I was like, oh, okay, you're not like washed up or anything. Like, okay, and he definitely got like quarantine has done him well. He looks in better shape. And he's grown until, and right like he's the apple, and it was funny, they had the jokes about, oh, during the pandemic, you can have Carlito during the pandemic when he like spit apples, and I was like, okay, yes, that was funny. Like, obviously, he's not going to spit in people's faces right now. Like, I think that would be not wise, but I mean, I think it was just a way to kind of get him one more, out of the Royal Rumble, he wasn't going to win the Rumble. I don't know how long he's back for, and he kind of implied he will be a couple more, so I don't know if he has like he's going to be wrestling every week. Or it's just like, oh, it's nice to get Carlito, and then of course Jeff Hardy was in there around the same time he was in, with Jeff Hardy,
Mm-hmm.
And it was a nice thing for Jeff because Jeff was taking a lot of losses in the last 2 months. It made me very sad. And while I understand he's older and he don't need like all the time, it still made me sad. Like, oh, Jeff, like you might not need to win, but I don't want to see you get all beat up and then you're just laying there with your earrings like getting pulled by Randy Orton, and then Elias hitting you with guitars. But that's sad. It makes me sad. So I feel like that's what it was. It's just a nice little thing, like, oh, let's just show us like we kind of still got it, and we got like a little quick match out of that. I feel like that's what it was. I don't know what his goal is though, because if he does have an indie promotion, you technically do not need WWE. I mean, but maybe he just want to kind of get his like ring rust off in WWE. Like, oh, I can show you guys I still know a little something. Like that's the vibe I got from it. I'm not sure what they're gonna do. If anything, maybe the U.S. title, since they kept showing that today. Like, oh, he had the U.S. title, and I'm like, yeah, I remember that he did. So, but it was okay. It wasn't necessarily needed, but it wasn't terrible. It was okay.
Okay. Next we got Bliss versus Nikki. Prolonged storyline. There you go. Nikki got the L. I mean, I guess they didn't establish it in the Rumble, so I guess that's why they had this match. I mean, maybe that's why they're feuding again.
I just want to know the end game. Like, where are they going with that? If she's not Sister Abigail, if she's not going full blown a she fiend, which would be kind of be cool if she has something like, you know, a female fiend, that'd be kind of cool. But other than that, if she ain't going full blown a grudge, then I don't care.
I actually like her new way of doing the Sister Abigail. It looks like Velveteen Dream. It looks almost similar to Dream Valerie, the Velveteen Dream DDT. How similar to Sister Abigail, he does DDT. She literally like flapjack her face. That was actually pretty dope. She made her own. Cool. I don't know. Hopefully this is the end of Nikki going against Bliss. But that's okay. Whatever. Man, why am I still watching wrestling, man? But yeah.
I used to watch it Raw. That's what I'm trying to figure out. It's Monday Night Raw. SmackDown is a better show.
Okay, so after that, Bliss got the W. Randy Orton comes out. They both stare each other down. I like how the commentators were like, "Oh, Randy was gonna let this pass by, because he has to concentrate on Edge." The next thing you know, they're Edge versus Orton. Finally, the end of the feud. Now Edge can concentrate on Mania. But meanwhile, Orton still is feuding with Alexa Bliss. Not even the Fiend no more, just Alexa Bliss. So yeah. All right.
So what was the point of her and Asuka? The whole Asuka and her and Asuka, like they totally dropped that.
Thank you.
So it's like,
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm more mad at that part. I'm thinking we're gonna
I'm
get
Asuka. I'm gonna laugh.
We're not getting.
I'm gonna laugh if Randy Orton comes back burnt again. Like he just stares at Bliss and like his burns just come back.
Listen.
I don't know where the burn mark just appears.
Listen. He wore that.
Get some good shea butter or something.
He wore that Dollar Tree mask and did all this dramatic. He finally takes the mask off and like he had 3rd-degree burns, and then literally a few days later, his skin is perfectly fine. And I'm like, so did he magically have the best surgeon known to man that was able to give her the burn scars? You could have at least made it look like he was healing. Like it got a little better over time. No, it was just completely 100% gone. So like y'all just like F that. Like we saw her throw this random fireball like she was in Street Fighter. Okay?
Maybe us as viewers can't see that he was actually burnt, but then he comes back and now he's burnt and be like, oh, the Fiend played tricks on us. That's how they almost got that. Remember how I think when Paul Heyman finally got control of Raw again, and there was just random static on TV, and Paul was like, you know what, let's mess with that, and that's where the whole Fiend thing came about. Remember that shit? Because I think there was actually it happened in real, but like, damn, what happened? Then okay, it's the Fiend controlling the TV the whole entire time. So maybe if they really want to mess with us, hey, he got burnt all over again. It was just the Fiend messing with our heads. So they could probably play it off like that.
They just think the WWE universe is dumb as hell if they're gonna pull that one off. When they literally showed Randy Orton have a whole different injury yesterday with his leg injury, and he was just so hurt. They had to go to the back. They had the cameras all there, like he's about to be in an episode of ER. And then he came back like, Randy Orton's good for this kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then he thrown out of the ring, and his face perfectly fine, mind you. And then we're on Monday Night Raw, and he had a whole speech about how Edge is my brother, and I did this for you. I did RKO'd your wife, you know, because it's remind Edge that you did this to his wife. And face still not burned. And then he comes out, and Alexa Bliss look at him, and she's the one who burned his face. He ignores her with a clear face, and I'm supposed to now believe 5 times after that he's burned again. No, I'm sorry. Like, they must think people are just too idiotic to be like, calm the fuck. Like, granted, some things are not, like, it's ridiculous, but come on. Like, no, I didn't understand that. That's why I was so mad with the Asuka thing, because I'm like, you're making Asuka look like Asuka is weak. Asuka's one of the best women wrestlers in the roster. You have her running scared about Alexa, like from Alexa Bliss, like she wasn't Hana kicking ass before with somebody way darker than Alexa Bliss, and that annoyed me. And then you see her doing these changes where she's supposed to be the goddess. I feel like poor Nikki Cross could have gotten a win today because she's been taking losses to Alexa Bliss for months, and then we don't see her for a while. She comes back taking another L. So I felt like, what was the point of rewrapping the storyline between this fake ass friendship they had if you're gonna have Nikki Cross take one more loss? If you wasn't going to let Nikki get some kind of redemption from this, we did not need that match. I felt like they just want to have Alexa Bliss on my TV screen. And because she is currently still feuding with Randy Orton, which is very clear when she popped up at the end of the match, I hated that she stood there and whatever the black stuff is, like she's about to be in the ring. That's the girl who had the girl from with the ring. So she acted like she came out the well and she about to flip to my TV. And I'm just like, what is all of this? I'm annoyed now because let me know where the Fiend, when the Fiend came back from the burn unit. If anybody, you know, where's he from the burn unit since he got burned up and maybe died, whatever they implied? Where's he? I would rather see him come back and say some nonsense than see Alexa Bliss one more time with the shenanigans. I felt like Nikki
Is Bray Wyatt have COVID or is he injured? What's happening with Bray?
Supposedly he was supposed to be getting renewed because he got burned in that match. That's what he said. He went right to Twitter 5 minutes later, though he's supposed to have died and all, and said, "Oh, I'm gonna be born again," and then we had nothing else after that. So it's implying he's supposed to come back, I guess, as more different, even different than the Fiend. But it's like, no, let's have Alexa Bliss just waste my time every week and have her acting like Asuka's a scrub, and then let's mess with Nikki Cross, even though Nikki Cross lost every match since this whole thing happened with Alexa. She lost every match that they had since then. Wasn't necessary. You're gonna have to take another loss. We didn't need it. I felt like, because she was actually kicking Alexa's ass at one point, I was like, okay, Nikki, about time. And then next minute she's getting Sister Abigail, and I was like, oh, okay, well, thank you, WWE, for dashing those. So I was hoping Nikki was going to get a win tonight, but let's have Alexa go back into Fiend mode, and she gets to do the Sister Abigail. That was okay, and here we are. Like, it just wasn't necessary. And then the power pop-up Randy, even though I knew Edge was going to win it because Edge needs the momentum for the Wrestlemania, it's just like, we didn't need Alexa Bliss to pop up in there for that. Edge could have just did his spear, okay, and then called it a day. We didn't need to have Alexa Bliss randomly there and then like gone. Like, is Alexa Bliss just going to be a random person, like a little demon hanging out in everybody's place just because she's going to waste, like, why is it now? What is the purpose of Alexa Bliss doing these random things? And you can't say it for the Fiend, because even when the Fiend is doing it, he does have one person in mind at the time. When he's feuding with people, it's that one person till the feud's over, not 4, 5, 6, 7 superstars. You just see the Fiend popping up out of nowhere just because, which is what Alexa Bliss is doing, and it's annoying me. So I'm over it. It could have been good if she didn't pop up at the end. It's just like, why? Why are we doing this? Like, come on, Raw. This is why people like SmackDown. This is why. This is why people like, yeah, SmackDown, because of nonsense like this. This is why. Shenanigans.
All right. There you go. Thank you guys for watching. You guys, you can put your plugins right now. Gary, you can start first, man.
Follow me at huskyhero716@gmail.com. Huskyhero716 at a lot of social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat too, I think. I can't remember, but also Husky Heroes and Healthy Heroines on Facebook, and also Husky Heroes Assemble on Spotify, your favorite podcast places. It's a pleasure to be on, and thank you guys.
Thanks, Katrina. You can put your plugins.
Listen, just search right now. My link is not there yet. So, InCat We Trust on YouTube and on Instagram and Twitter is at InCat We Trust. The E is a 3 because people took things, you know, etc. Couldn't use my name and I went. But that's it for me. I'm pretty small in the wrestling part, so it's not a lot to follow me on.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to the 504 views that I got last night for the Royal Rumble. That was actually pretty cool. If you guys want to see more results and reviews of, well, I don't know if I can do it weekly. It's a stressful thing, but if there's something that, you know, maybe during a pay-per-view or something, I can probably do something like that for you guys. A little watch along. If you guys, this is actually pretty cool. This is my first time doing something like this.
Maybe a Bad Bunny party.
Oh, most definitely. We're gonna do some Bad Bunny results and reviews. We can watch his music videos and we can review them. You know,
I will not be on that.
I'm sure people would love to watch Katrina do some watch along with me Bad Bunny music videos.
Katrina will not be there, so.
But yeah, thank you guys. I had a blast doing this. Shout out to Husky, shout out to Katrina. Maybe I guess.
Thank you. All right.
No, I mean maybe I'll do a SmackDown, or I don't know. I don't know, man. But I'll try to think of something. But don't forget, like, comment, subscribe down below. Later, guys. This is XVPW Live, and we are out.